Good afternoon, Chris MacManus, Sinn Féin MEP from Midlands North West here, and I'm delighted to be joining you from Strasbourg. This afternoon, in one of a series of conversations we were having with MEPs from across the political groups, I'm delighted to be joined by my good colleague Ana Miranda from the Greens EFA, and Ana is an MEP for the Bloque Nacionalista Galego, who are a political party from the left-wing and nationalist tradition similar to ourselves, from the northwest of the Spanish state in Galicia. So we're delighted to be joined. And Ana is not a stranger to us here in Ireland. She's attended a number of Sinn Féin Ordeshna down through the years and has enjoyed the similarities between our part of the world and her part of the world. So Ana, I'm delighted you're here with me this afternoon. So in the first instance, maybe could you give us a little background on yourself and indeed on the Bloque Nacionalista Galego?
Thank you very much for this conversation, and especially with you, my friend MacManus, that you are one of my preferred MEPs, really, because we are very, very similar, because our organizations are also very similar, no? In two parts of the world, but Ireland and Galicia, they are very close by history, by the migration, by the music, and also by politics. So for us, it's a pleasure to share some political issues in the European Parliament with you. The BNG, the Bloque Nacionalista Galego, is a party and a political organization defending the right to self-determination of the Galician people, defending the social justice, the feminism, the ecology, and especially the international solidarity, and the right to be and to produce of our country, of our sovereignty. We are an organization anti-militarist. We are a peaceful organization defending pacifism and the solution of conflicts in the international arena. Also at this current moment, you know how we see the situation in Palestine and in other conflicts in the world. Now we are the second force in Galicia. Galicia is the name how we call our country, Galicia, and we are the second force. First is the Popular Party, the Conservative. Second is BNG, and third are the Labour. So we are first, then the Labours, and we are the first party that has the possibility to be in government next year. You have Marilu and we have Ana Pontón. And Ana Pontón was with Marilu McDonald last year.
Indeed, the 2020 election was the BNG's best in terms of you 19 out of 75 seats in the Galician Parliament, and it's brilliant to see the strides that are being made forward for those who want to see self-determination for the Galician people. As an MEP, and you're the vice chair of the Committee on Petitions, but you're also, like myself, a member of the delegation to Palestine. But as an MEP, how can you use that role to heighten awareness of the Galician need for self-determination throughout the EU institutions?
I'm a member of the European Parliament, elected in a coalition that is called Now Republics, with the Esquerra Republicana of Catalonia and EH Bildu, our Basque friends, and we are together to defending the self-determination in this parliament and of our countries. And I work also in Fisheries Committee, that is a very important committee for the Galician production, for the coastal communities, and especially like in Ireland, for our fishermen, for our women in fisheries and shellfish. I'm also vice chair of the Petitions Committee. That is a committee very close to citizens and very close to peoples, defending rights of working rights, defending the nature, defending things and vulnerations of the states of the European law. So we are very close. We defending here all the abuses of the banking, all the neoliberalist policies in Europe. It's a very important committee too, and I know some cases of Ireland that I see you also in this committee. We are also members of the regional committee, that is the Committee for the Cohesion. Our countries, and Galicia especially, need the funds of cohesion to develop a better routes, a better infrastructures for water. Now that we have all the problems of the dryness in Europe, today we have a debate. Also, it's a committee to avoid the disparities, no? The Spanish state with their politics, centralistic policies, they exclude Galicia for years, and it's for that also that the BNG was born, was to defend the Galician people, to defend the right to self-determination, and we use the Parliament, the European Parliament, also to be and to defend that we are a nation in Europe, in the Europe of peoples, in a Europe social, equal, in a Europe fair, more fair, because the construction of the European Union is against people, is a neoliberal and economic construction and not close to citizens, not close to people. So we defend other Europe, and to be in the parliament, people call me Madame Galice. And it's for something. I don't know if the people call you Miss Ireland or other Miss.
But I have heard this being said in the past. And you quite rightly said, while the European Union is 27 member states, but there are many nations within the European Union that as of yet haven't reached self-determination. And you referenced two regions or two nations that are very important. We have very strong links with as well is Bildu and Euskal Herria and the Republican left of Catalonia in obviously Catalonia. We all share a common thread in that we are of the progressive left, but we are nationalist in outlook and we seek the right of self-determination. So it is important for you as a Galician MEP to be able to work with like-minded MEPs who share the same values of not only self-determination, but also of equality, of progressivism, of inclusivity.
Yes, it's very important for us and for me, especially as MEP of the Bloque, of the Galician Nationalist Bloc, to work with other MEPs that share these values, this Europe of peoples, but also the idea of other Europe that could be possible, not this Europe that is against peoples, no? In the decisions of the Central European Bank, the last decisions in the high rates of the bank interest for people, no? That is now in a very bad situation with the crisis. And it's for that we, the left, we are in two groups. One group is your group, the left, and the other left that we are in the European Free Alliance with other peoples, no, from Corsica, or in the past from Wales, or from Scotland, or they're from now from Catalonia, or they're from Corsica, or from other countries. And now Brittany, because Brittany is now with a new member in EFA. And we share this common work, and it's interesting, but because we can work in two groups. But also, the dream of some Galicians is to be, also my dream, to be one day Sinn Féin and BNG in the same group. Because you have a lot of fans in Galicia, the Sinn Féin.
And Galicians have a lot of fans in Sinn Féin. Now, obviously, much of your work is about promoting Galician identity and the need for self-determination, but also promoting the culture and the language of Galicia. And obviously, it's been much more noticeable in the news over the last number of weeks since the last election in the Spanish state. So we've had our own difficulties in Ireland in trying to get full acceptance of the Irish language in the European Union. What's happening with Galician at this time?
Now, the Galician is official in the Spanish state. First time in the history that is official, because it's an agreement between the progressive forces with the Socialist Party. to defend the three languages, the Galician, the Basque, and the Catalan, to speak them in the Spanish Parliament. And here we use the Portuguese language to speak in Galician because it's the same family, the same linguistic Galego Internacional. We call Galego Internacional. So the most of my interventions are in Galego Portuguese, in Galician Portuguese, to try to officialize our language, but I use also other languages, and it's very important because if we have a culture, we need to defend in all the institutions, in all the contexts, and also in all the situations. For the Galicians, and especially for the BNG, our Galego is a very long fight in the history was forbidden in the Francoism since years ago, only since years ago.
This is always the objective of the colonizer to destroy and take away the identity of those they wish to colonize. And obviously we in Ireland have this issue, and a long way to go to bring our language back to its full and rightful place as the language of our nation. Final question, and you won't be surprised if I'm bringing in Irish reunification into this. It'd be a very strange debate if I didn't reference Irish unity. But as you're aware, obviously now there's a big conversation in Ireland about the unity of our country, and that there will be a referendum within a matter of years, and hopefully a positive outcome of that. And obviously part of my job is preparing and trying to articulate to the European Union, get ready for it. A referendum is coming, unification is coming, but what might the EU contribute not only on Irish unity, but indeed in recognising the right of many nations to self-determination within the European Union? What is the role of the European Union?
We are working in the caucus in the European Parliament. The caucus is a group of MEPs of different forces working on the self-determination, and we work in the Clarity Act, in the mechanism of clarity, to have this right and to recognize this right in the treaties and also in the European Union. So if Ireland decides to be united, also in the referendum, is for us the need to respect a new country with the other part that is your demand, and also try that Spain recognize this new country with a new adhesion, no? Because sometimes the self-determination could be to separate, or to recognize, or for autonomy, or in other places to recognize a de facto situation. But this is I hope, the intention to see one day unify Ireland, no? As Sinn Féin demands, and also is our intention to see one day the Western Sahara also as a country in the world, and see Palestine that should be and should have one the state. And now with the current situation in Palestine, we are afraid about the bad intentions of the European Union to leave alone Palestine in the world and in the international arena. But in Europe, Ireland should be the next, and I hope other countries.
Hear, hear, and
Ireland is now in the European Union. The question is to have a united Ireland.
And I don't think any of us would disagree with you in regards to not only unity in Ireland, but self-determination for nations, not only in the European Union, but for our friends in Western Sahara, and indeed, quite obviously, the right for the people of Palestine to determine their own futures in that regard. So with that, I want to thank you, Ana Miranda, for joining me this afternoon for a nice chat. I hope people got something out of it and learned a bit more about the struggle for self-determination in Galicia. And with that, on behalf of myself and Ana, I want to say thank you for joining us, and have a good day.
Muchas gracias.